Hello, it's the real Jack and Ferg here.
And welcome to another ASMR episode.
Oh, you thought last week was a one-off, a gimmick? Oh, no,
you're wrong.
It's the premise of the
You're
podcast
so wrong.
now.
Every episode is going to be ASMR.
Even these real-life intro bits.
They're going to be ASMR too. We had letters, we had emails
Pouring through the door.
Just people loved the ASMR stuff.
And it's the premise of the podcast now, is it's two people making a movie fan podcast in an alternate world, and it's all ASMR. Because the podcast was too simple to explain to people.
Before.
Is what we've been finding.
So now you needed it complicated a little bit more. Just for a little bit of extra bit of spice.
Anyway, don't forget to check out the Patreon.
Yeah, the Patreon. Does the Patreon make a little noise, Ferg?
I don't know. Let's log into the Patreon. Jack, what the fuck are you doing?
It's the Patreon noise.
No, it's...
Anyway, there's good stuff on there. If you're liking the podcast, check it out.
Starting at $5 a month. $5. What's that? The price of a coffee? I don't know. I'm not American.
Here's the sound of...
the
sound of $5.
For we give you an hour of that sweet content a month.
And if you like it, let us know by sharing some love on the Patreon. Alright, we have a very good episode today. It's been cooking for a while.
We haven't recorded it yet.
But you'll enjoy it.
We haven't recorded it yet, but I can guarantee it's sick.
Let's go!
No, just kidding. We're not. It's not ASMR. Are those coins? Are those euros?
Yeah.
Jack's got some euros there because we are in Amsterdam. No gag.
Just true.
Jack's just here for work and I came out to visit.
Aww.
It's just another Sharkman podcast.
Hello and welcome to Just Another Sharkman podcast, your chance to plug into all the latest news, movies and events in the Sharkman film franchise. I'm Jack, I've narrowly escaped a horrible death, and I'm here with my best friend, it's Fergus.
Hello listeners.
Oh,
for you.
Big week.
What a crazy couple of weeks it's been.
Wow.
Let's dive straight into it, Jack. This, listeners, is our top 10 ranking. Big top 10. Big ranking episode. Big episode where we rank the top 10.
Big top 10.
Top 10 moments from the epic Smog Slug disaster that unfolded over the last couple of weeks.
That's right, listeners. Our little friend Smog Slug, he was our little pet. He was made out of pollution.
Yeah.
And what happened is he started to grow very large, very quickly, and soon became a gigantic smog slug and started destroying bits of the town.
And of course, we've not been able to record the podcast since then because of all of that. But we're just going to get straight in. Here's our top 10 moments from that disaster as it unfolded over the days, over the weeks.
Number 10.
So, number 10, top 10 moment of the top 10 moments of the Smog Slug catastrophe.
Yeah.
And I think we agree on this straight in at number 10.
We do.
Is, of course, when Smog Slug destroyed the city for the second time.
That's right, listeners. When Smog Slug destroyed the city for the second time, it's just narrowly made it onto our top 10 list.
And when we're talking about the city... we're talking about just like SharkCon, the sort of the main centre of SharkCon, but we're referring to it as the city.
So, Ferg, I'm really glad this made it onto the list. It could have not been on the list.
No.
It was number 10.
Yeah.
But it narrowly made it onto the list, and I think that's a really good thing, because it was really, really good, wasn't it, Ferg?
Yeah. Lots happening, really exciting.
Lots of people died, lots of attacks, lots of burning buildings. Smog Slug was stomping over everything.
But ultimately, the reason it's only coming in at number 10
Yeah.
is because while it was exciting... it was kind of just a rehash of the first time Smog Slug attacked the city.
It's true.
Which, of course, we'll get to later.
Yeah.
That first time he attacked the city.
Oh, that was so good.
Which was, such a big sort of opening statement.
Yeah.
But then the second time he attacked the city, it was like there was no raising of stakes.
No, there was no
change or development in sort of what Smog Slug did or how we responded. It was just he attacked the city again.
Yeah, in a way it was going through the motions.
Yeah.
And not that the motions aren't good, because I will sit through a Sharkman film again and again and again.
Yeah.
And I don't mind if nothing's different.
No.
I don't mind if nothing changes. In fact, I prefer that. Often I prefer it if it's exactly the same as the last Sharkman film.
Yeah.
But the thing with this is that we were so excited by the first one that this one just didn't quite live up to expectations. And Ferg, I'm not saying that the screams weren't genuine. I'm not saying that the fear wasn't really there.
No.
But I would say it wasn't quite as horrible, horrific, scary as the first time.
I think because everyone was as thrilling and horrible as it was.
Yeah.
Deep down, everyone was kind of just like,
come
again?
on, again. Yeah. Anyway, still a good attack.
Yeah.
Still worth including on here.
It's still an important moment.
It is.
Because it was significant, but it just wasn't original.
All right, should we move on to number 9, Ferg?
Let's do it.
That was something I offered to the table when we were planning this episode.
Number
and
9.
you were like, yes, let's put that in.
Yup.
That's a really good moment.
It's in the ranking.
It's interesting because it wasn't a moment you were there for, Ferg.
No. So I'll let you take the lead on this one, Jack.
Number 9.
So at number 9, we've got the emotional time that I spent with Smog Slug in the cave when I was kidnapped by myself.
In between, so this is the time in between the first and second attacks.
Yeah.
You and Smog Slug bonding in that cave.
Yeah, so Smog Slug took me away after the first attack.
Yeah. Which we'll get to.
Which we'll get to. And in the cave, I don't know where the cave was. It was definitely a rock formation.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Despite being inside a convention centre.
Yeah, because the whole of SharkCon, as we remind you, is entirely indoors.
And Smog Slug took me into this cave.
Just got very tall ceilings.
And there were these torches, and they were lit.
Who lit them?
And there was kind of this fire flickering on me and on Smog Slug. And my clothes were torn. I was out of breath. And Smog Slug was nestled up and went to sleep.
They were torn in like a slightly sexy way.
Yeah. Ferg. And Smog Slug curled up and went to sleep. And I spent the whole night there, sitting terrified out of my life, sweating, looking at this massive smog creature that I used to know and love.
Yeah.
But who now had the capacity to destroy a city, Ferg.
And had.
Indeed, and had. I was sat there and I was waiting, and then I saw one of Smog Slug's eyes open. And it looked right at me. I was about the size of the eyeball.
Yeah, wow.
And I walked up to the eyeball. I swallowed. I found some courage, Ferg. I walked up and I put my hand on the eyeball.
Wow.
And I said, Smog Slug, I understand you.
Wow.
I understand your hurt and your pain.
Trying to tap into the, it's not just a big monster. What's it really feeling?
Exactly.
It's got emotions. It's got thoughts. It's got an internal life.
And then I removed my hand from the massive eyeball and I looked, Ferg, along Smog Slug's body and I saw that there was a twig sticking out of Smog Slug's sluggy body. And so I walked down and I pulled out the twig, Ferg.
Wow.
And Smog Slug looked at me and blinked, and I could tell that Smog Slug was grateful that I had removed the splinter.
There was a kindness there.
There was a kindness.
You were breaching the gap.
And in that moment, Ferg, I think I felt really connected to Smog Slug.
Yeah.
And over the next few days, Ferg, that bond deepened. We connected until, of course, I was able to escape.
Beautiful.
Number 8.
Coming in at number 8, of course, is the bit just before the big final battle when Good Chris got into his giant mech in order to fight Smog Slug.
Oh my god, listeners, this was so cool. I wish you had been there. This is at number 8 just because there wasn't actually any fighting. It was more of a reveal.
It was a big moment.
It was more of a moment.
Smog Slug is coming over the horizon.
Oh, this
Everyone's
is sick.
getting ready. We're like, this is it. This is the final battle against Smog Slug.
Yeah.
This is where it ends.
And Good Chris was there and he was sipping on a hot chocolate. He was standing next to us.
He'd just been helping a lot of people that had been injured.
Yeah.
He'd been nursing their wounds.
And kissing them on the forehead.
Making them feel better.
Yeah.
He'd been feeding soup to children.
Spiritually and physically.
Both spiritually and physically, he had been feeding soup to children.
Yeah.
And just helping out with a disaster. And then he took the sip of his hot chocolate and he looked out and he said, well, I suppose there's only one more thing left for me to do.
And what he did, listeners, is he took out they looked like car keys out of his pocket. And he clicked the car keys. And very far away, we heard like a beep, beep, like the noise that a car makes when it unlocks.
So I just figured, fair enough, he's getting in his car and doing a runner.
He's just going to leave.
That's what I would have done if I had a car.
And he was wearing some sweatpants and he jogged off across the horizon.
And I was like, bye.
And I was like, bye, Chris. Thank you for all the help with the children and these dying people. Good luck with the rest of your life.
Great guy.
Great guy.
He'd done enough. He'd already done enough.
I didn't feel bitter.
No.
No.
You can't feel bitter with good Chris. He's just such a good guy.
Hard. Anyway. We waited a minute or two. I don't think we said anything to each other. We just sort of stood there, looked around, looked at each other, looked around again. It was sort of a very odd moment. And then far away, you hear these footsteps, these big mechanical footsteps.
It was more like chung, chung, chung.
Yeah, you've got it, Ferg.
Yeah.
I wish I was as good as acting at you, Ferg.
Thank you.
And we turned, and over the horizon was Chris in a giant mech.
You know, like a mech.
Like a mech.
And so he came up to us in the mech, and we said, Chris, what's happening? And projecting out through a microphone out of the mech, he said, well, boys, back on my world, we've all got mechs. Which was weird.
That was so weird.
I don't know about you, Jack.
Yeah.
I'd always assumed his world was kind of, just from what he'd said before about his world, I figured like the joke of his world, like the thing of his world.
If there was a joke about the world,
yeah,
it was that the world was normal and like less crazy than our world.
Yeah, is that it was like our world but without Sharkman and stuff.
Yeah. Like still a weird world, but not quite. And there were just like cars and normal things.
Yeah. Like still superhero movies, but different ones to Sharkman.
Like if you weren't from this timeline, it would be your world.
Like a more regular version of our world.
Yeah.
But no, he comes from a world
where they all have mechs.
They've all got mechs. So that I'm confused now about quite what good Chris is and where he's come from.
Big mechs, little mechs. All sorts of mechs.
Yeah, for different purposes, for construction, for battle. But of course, right now, he was in a battle mech.
He was. And he gave us a salute with his giant robot hand.
Yeah.
And then he crouched and leapt into the air, thrusters engaged, and he just disappeared into the sky. And it was fantastic, Ferg.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a solid number 8. No fighting, no one died, nothing like particularly memorable about that moment apart from it being a great moment.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he went and partook in the final battle with the others. Just before we move on to number 7, Ferg.
Yep.
Do you mind if we just take a quick pause?
Yeah, sure.
Just because I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed.
Right.
With everything, all the emotional stuff I've had to go through,
right.
all the physical stuff. There's been a lot, and obviously it all just finished, and then you immediately put on the microphone.
Yeah, as soon as it just showed a hint of dying down, the whole catastrophe, it was confirmed that it was over. We whipped out and we started recording. It all ended how long have we been recording? 4 minutes ago?
4 minutes
5
ago.
minutes ago.
And so if we could just maybe take a 20 seconds of just silence. I just need to sort of sit with everything that happened.
Yeah. Cool. Whatever you need. Just like whatever you need to process it. Just like silence. Yeah. Cool. Just like 20 seconds. Have we started already? Have we started yet? You've shut your eyes. Are you trying to...
Smog Slug, I miss you so much. Right, yeah, I'm okay. I'm back. Let's move on to number 7, Ferg.
Okay.
Let's dive right in.
Number 7.
This is something I was present for while Jack, of course, was spending several days in the cave bonding with the monster itself, giant Smog Slug. Now, I was there in the centre of SharkCon, and I was in the boardrooms where all the top people, the various runners of SharkCon, and of course the board of directors themselves, Will, the CEO, Rosa Prollops, Theodora Lightning, the Time Knight was there, Serena was there, just everyone was there. The whole sort of SharkCon bureaucracy machine, and they were there in a series of boardrooms just trying to work out what to do. They were like, some people were like, we've got to evacuate SharkCon, we've got to get everyone out, and Will and the CEO was like, no one leaves.
Just to be clear, you weren't meant to be there, were you, Ferg?
Basically, no, I was trying to find somewhere to shit. You know that room where you shit?
Yeah. You were just looking for that.
Toilet.
And so you just wandered in?
Yeah, I just wandered in, and, because there was such chaos, they didn't notice me, all sorts of different groups of people. And there were papers everywhere, desks strewn with papers about, plans of SharkCon, how to evacuate procedures, people throwing papers everywhere. There were some badly concealed papers near Will that said on them, plan to experiment on Smog Slug and make him big on purpose.
Well, that makes sense.
That makes sense. So everyone's arguing about what to do. People saying we should evacuate. People were saying we've got to defeat Smog Slug. We've got to punch it hard. Some people were saying we've got to get giant. What is Smog? What can you do? You got to get a giant Hoover. We've got to get one giant Hoover to suck up Smog Slug. Some people were saying don't be stupid. We've got to get lots of normal Hoovers. We've got to get everyone. We've got a Hoover in the hand of every citizen, every person, every child. Mm-hmm. Suck up that boy.
Wow, Ferg, that's amazing.
But because there were so many people and so much bureaucracy, they just couldn't get a solution sorted. They didn't know how to defeat Smog Slug. So that was just an interesting. I think that's coming in at number 7 because it was a bit outside of the action.
Yeah,
a little break. Things exploding, Smog Slug destroying things.
But still quite tense.
Yeah,
that's interesting. So at number 7, that was bureaucracy hindering progress.
Yeah, hindering our ability to defeat the problem.
Okay, Ferg, let's move on to number 6. Just going to play the noise.
Number 6.
Oh, it is such a good noise. How did you record that, Ferg?
Oh, it's just a voice I can do. Do you want me to do it for you now?
Yeah, please.
Hello, I'm talking like this.
Wow.
Yeah, I just do it in person.
You just squeeze your neck like that and it just works.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Anyway, number 6, listeners. Big moment, really satisfying moment, I think, in the whole catastrophe.
It was so cool.
At number 6, we have the moment when all the superheroes showed up for the final battle.
So cool.
It was so great, Ferg. Sharkman was there, Prawn Boy was there, Beach Dog was there, Boudica was there, Lady Shark was there. They were all there. And what's weird, Ferg, is that they're not real.
No.
And so it's quite surreal that they were there.
I did think that at the time.
It was like quite a strange experience because I know that they're not real.
But the thing is, I didn't even that thought didn't really get any traction because I was just so impressed by the fact they were there. It was just so cool. I didn't stop to think, hang on, why is this? What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
They're not real.
No.
I was just like, wow.
They're all there.
They're all there. And of course, Chris in his giant mech, who is real. What about this moment puts it at number 6 for you? What makes it so great, Jack?
Well, Ferg, I think really it was that they were all the superheroes.
Really? I never thought of it like that.
What about you?
Yeah, I guess it was just like, I guess I was more thinking of the fact that it was like all the superheroes.
Oh, I see.
And they were all stood in a big line.
Yeah, they were.
And it's like there were so many of them. And obviously Smog Slug was there, and Smog, was, as it has been throughout the catastrophe, sort of smog was everywhere. And so it made everything like grey. So it's just this grey landscape. Mm-hmm. Everything looked grey.
Yeah.
Big line of superheroes.
And they're all there.
Final battle. They were all there. That's the thing. They were all there.
Yeah.
And because all of them were there.
Yeah. Number 6. You got to put that at number 6.
Number 6.
Another moment.
Big moment.
Of greatness in the catastrophe. So, talking of catastrophe, Ferg.
Yep.
Listeners, just want to say if you're liking this ranking, just go on that Twitter, #catastrophe ranking. Let us know if you agree, disagree with what we're saying.
And if you do disagree, firstly, fuck you.
Yeah.
Secondly, let us know your own ranking.
Yeah.
What's your ranking? Maybe you want to switch a couple. Maybe you've got a completely different idea, in which case, fuck you. But quote tweet us, #catastrophe ranking. What's your top 10? Top 10 moments. Top 10, rank the top 10. Get 10 moments, rank them, say this one's better than that one, say this one's better than that one. They're all, there's an ascending, there's an order, there's a hierarchy. Rank the moments, rank them.
And if we disagree with what you're saying, don't worry, we'll just report you.
Yeah.
We'll just report you to the authorities, to Twitter. We'll get you banned. I love banning people.
I love banning people. This whole time I've been on Twitter just reporting people.
Banning people.
Getting them banned.
Because I don't agree with what they say.
Just any slight thing.
If you disagree with them, ban.
And I'm not talking about, Jack, people saying things that are bad.
No.
I'm talking about people disagreeing about the films.
Yeah. Ban.
Yeah. People who say about, opinions are just opinion. People, we've got to have diversity of opinion.
Yeah, we do.
In terms of politics, people should be able to say whatever they want online. Yeah. But when it comes to movies, no. Bad.
It's serious then.
Then
it's when it gets serious.
Because the movies, I can just, there's a Wikipedia for, what happened so I can keep up with the movies.
Yeah.
Politics is, I don't know what's going on in that.
No Wikipedia for that. No wiki.
There's no,
There's no politics wiki.
There's no politics wiki.
I miss Smog Slug.
What?
Nothing.
Anyway, so that was our bit in the middle. So in the middle, because there's 10, so we did 5. Bit in the middle, social media engagement.
Bit of chat.
Encouraging chat.
I miss Smog Slug.
And then next 5. So we put that in the middle. That's structure.
I miss him so much.
We've structured it.
Yeah.
So coming in at number 5.
Number 5.
It's
Smog Slug attacking for the 3rd time.
So
interesting one, this.
Yeah, so obviously, like we said earlier, the second time wasn't as good as the first time.
No.
The first, which we'll get to later, the first time. But when Smog Slug came back and attacked a 3rd time, it was better than the second time.
Weirdly, not much was different.
No.
There were a couple highlights for me. Obviously, Smog Slug stamping on all the buildings.
Yeah.
But that happened before.
Exactly. I think partly I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
I was kind of always expecting Smog Slug to attack a second time.
Yeah.
But once Smog Slug attacked a second time, I was like, well, Smog Slug won't attack a 3rd time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But then when Smog Slug did attack a 3rd time, it was like, you know what, actually, this is good. Now that I've had the second time to sort of mull it over, it's like, no, this works. And I think it felt fresher. It felt like it had more energy to it. And I think there were a lot of interesting moments in there. There was, of course, the bit where that lady and her child, where Smog Slug was about to stamp on them with his smoggy body.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh no. And then Will jumped in, saved the lady, the woman and her child, saved them. And they were like, thank you. That was a great moment.
Yeah, everyone clapped. There was also a good moment just before the battle.
Yeah.
Where Smog Slug said to me, sort of via telepathy.
Oh, right.
Where Smog Slug said to me,
this is a new mechanic.
Please go, leave, pretend you escaped.
Oh, so Smog Slug cared for you?
Yeah, Smog Slug was like, I don't want you caught up in all of this. Please go, pretend you ran away.
And there was that bit where the smart professor who knew everything about Smog Slug, was like,
oh yeah,
I've just realised how to defeat Smog Slug. And then she was killed by Smog Slug.
Immediately stamped on.
It was more, I guess we keep saying stamped, but it's more sort of big, weird, gaseous squelches.
You go in and then you dissipate.
Smog Slug, I'm going to throw this out there, Jack.
Yeah.
Smog Slug is odd.
Odd creature.
And somehow even odder now that he's huge.
But
was huge, he's dead now.
But weirdly beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, in at number 4, Ferg.
Number 4.
Number 4 for me, Jack.
I agree with you.
Yeah, we're both agreed on this.
I've seen the list.
Number 4.
I've seen the list, Ferg.
Number 4 is that big moment where everyone simultaneously realised that Smog Slug was our sins made flesh. That our anxieties, our failures as a society had become this real monster that was attacking us externally, but was a representation of our internal issues. It's made of smog. It's a representation of what we're doing to the world, the pollution that Sharkman Shield is filling the world with, and now it has returned as this reckoning against them. And I think, it's very easy for us to think of these, these big monsters, these big disasters come happening, and it's just like, oh, it's this random big silly thing. But it's actually very political, and it actually really means something.
Ferg, I don't think you could have said it any more succinctly or successfully. Well done. It was a really early moment in the process.
Yeah.
But a really essential one, and that's why it's number 4.
Yeah.
That's got to come before you can really appreciate anything else.
Exactly. It affects the whole understanding of what's happened, of the ranking itself.
Yeah. Guys, we're into the top 3 now.
Here we are.
These are the big, best moments of the Smog Slug catastrophe.
These are the classic moments.
They are the classic moments.
These are the classic moments.
They're the moments that will go down in history, Ferg, I
top
think.
3
The
moments.
top 3 moments.
And they're classic.
And they're the top 3.
And it's really what you came here for.
The top 3 moments.
4 through 10, what's the point?
No.
Top 3 moments.
Let's go. Are you ready, Ferg?
Shit, am I? No, I am.
Let's do it. Coming in at number 3, Ferg.
Number 3.
At number 3, we have the first time Smog Slug destroyed the city. Wow.
The original the classic, the best.
So much excitement, so much horror.
We didn't know it was going to happen.
No, he was obviously growing, and he had his tendrils around us, and so we were lifted up and could see the whole city.
Yeah, we just finished recording the podcast.
God, it was amazing.
So we, particularly me and Jack, we had this bird's eye view of the whole disaster as SharkCon was flattened by a creature that was holding us.
Absolutely. And obviously no one was prepared. So what was quite exciting is no one could fight back.
No.
Lots of people died.
Yeah.
It walked over to Will's mansion and Smog Slug trod on that and killed all the servants inside.
But it didn't actually damage the mansion at all.
No, or Will.
It just killed all the servants.
But it was like an amazing thing to behold.
And I think what was great about this first attack, obviously later attacks, you had sort of subversions of the form and all of that. But this first one was just classic, pure Smog Slug.
Old school.
No one fighting back. Just Smog Slug destroying things, stamping on things, poisonous smog filling people's lungs, buildings falling over.
Yeah, fire.
Screams, explosions.
Yeah.
And it was just like, wow. It was like thrilling. It was like, I didn't know that the world could be this exciting. I didn't know SharkCon could be this exciting. I didn't know I could feel this much terror. Just fantastic moment.
Just amazing.
Just incredible.
And obviously, we also, from above, we met the big cast of characters that would slowly get killed off. The professor was there, she was there, the army general person was there.
Yeah,
all of the people that were going to stop Smog Slug but die in the process, we met them all. And so I think that's a really important moment, Ferg, because actually that's why it's number 3. Because it's important, Ferg, to know the character before they die.
You got to set it up. The person.
Yeah, the person.
Yeah.
And it's when we met them.
Well, we sort of glimpsed them from above.
Yeah, we sort of glimpsed
we were just
floating
whoa.
around. And there was a point when Smog Slug looked at you and threw you away, and then walked to the cave with me.
That was when you went. Yeah. Most of the time, because obviously we're sort of being held by the tendril, being sort of waved around while Smog Slug destroys things. I was most of it very motion sickness.
Yeah.
Being thrown around, being circled through the air. So I was throwing up a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So, big classic moment. My personal memory of it is clouded a lot by vom. And because obviously I was spinning and twisting upside down and so on as I was vomiting, a lot of vom going on my own face. Vom in my eyes, vom out my nose, vom going back into my own mouth, being vommed out again. But it was that first attack that allowed for everything that happened later, and particularly moments like number 2.
Well, Ferg, I was thinking about this, and at number 2, I think listeners might have 2 different possible options in their head.
Oh, interesting.
Because there's obviously 2 big things that we haven't mentioned yet.
Yeah.
And so they're going to be thinking, which
one
of the boys going to put first?
Yeah.
And I'm just here to say that this is the definitive ranking.
It's correct.
So prepare yourselves, guys.
Yeah.
In at number 2.
Number 2.
The moment in the final battle when I walked out into the burning city and pleaded to Smog Slug to stop. It was an exciting moment for everyone else, Ferg.
Yeah.
Bit scary for me.
Yeah.
But I had the courage, I had the bravery, and I left the bunker that we were all in.
Yeah.
And I walked out into the burning city.
And you fell to your knees.
And I looked up and I said, please, Smog Slug, please, for me, stop this. You'll never get what you truly want, which is to be loved.
It was a great moment.
It was a great moment.
It was a number 2 moment.
Tears were streaming down my face. Smog Slug stopped, looked at me, and I'm pretty sure there were some smoggy tears running down Smog Slug's eyes as well.
It's hard to tell, but...
It is hard to tell, but I could feel a connection.
Yeah.
And in the telepathy that Smog Slug had recently developed with me...
Yeah, again, weird.
Smog Slug said, sorry.
And then Chris came up behind Smog Slug in his mech with his big mech sword, swung it back and just sliced it through Smog Slug, who just went and dissipated and was dead.
And then I was on the floor and was crying.
Everyone was applauding, and Chris was sort of up there like, I just did what I could, and everyone was like, yes, we did it, we defeated the monster that was destroying our city. But you were having this quiet moment.
I was just lying on the floor, sweaty, tearful, bloodied. And then you obviously came over and you kicked me in the back. And then you said, and then you put down the microphone.
And I said, come on.
Time for our top 10 ranking.
Time for our top 10 ranking.
Yeah.
I ran it by you. We tweaked a couple bits, moved them around.
And then we began.
I dragged you into a nearby shelter.
Yeah.
And here we are. And now, listeners, it's the moment you've all been waiting for.
Drum roll, please.
Of course, we've given you 2 through 10.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you're fucking stupid, you know what the big moment is that we haven't mentioned. Yeah. So you know what number one's going to be.
Yeah.
But we're still amping up for it. We're still being like, who knows what it's going to be. But we all know.
In at number 1, guys, here it is. Number 1, the best moment of the Smog Slug catastrophe.
Yep.
Let's play the sound.
Number 1.
It's when we realised that it was all done on purpose by Sharkman Studios for a film.
Because they ran out of CGI.
Yeah.
They were going to do a disaster film, but they ran out of CGI, so they just had to make it. It was a lot cheaper to make it happen for real and just film it.
Yeah, and we knew this really early on, didn't we, Ferg? We were in Smog Slug's grasp during the first attack.
Yeah.
Got a little text from Will.
Yeah.
First text in a while, actually.
Yeah.
And it came through and it said, play along, we're doing this for a movie.
Yeah.
And it was just us that knew, really.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was quite a secret to bear. But it also informed some of my decisions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would say that I started that emotional connection with Smog Slug.
Yeah.
Just in case it got on camera, Ferg.
Right,
I'm ashamed to admit it, but it's true.
All of this, of course, explains why there were cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
Filming the whole time.
Yeah.
Because, of course, that did all really happen.
Yeah.
Smog Slug probably didn't know about it.
No.
Smog Slug did kill a lot of people.
Yeah.
And knock buildings down. Smog Slug did die there at the end.
But hey, it was really good that Sharkman Studios tried this out. And Will, when he was standing there after the attack, and there were all of these dead citizens, and the
RIP.
people that were still alive were looking at Will and they were going, What? This was all for a film? Why did you do this? And then Will sort of just shrugged and said, well, it was worth a try.
I think it's going to be a really interesting intersection, Jack, between documentary and disaster fiction, adventure action, blockbuster movies.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see what happens, Ferg. And hopefully, guys, me and Ferg are going to be in the film of this.
Fingers crossed.
In the film of the Smog Slug catastrophe.
We had some big moments. Jack had all his moments with Smog Slug. You know, he was carrying us both around.
Yeah.
All of that. I think there's a really solid chance that the next big blockbuster, I don't know what they're going to call it. We don't know what they're going to call it yet.
No.
But the next big film in which Smog Slug attacks SharkCon, but it was for real and they filmed it.
Yeah.
Because they ran out of CGI.
Yeah. It's going to be us in it.
We're going to be in it.
Sharkies 2020, Ferg?
Maybe, Jack.
Maybe.
Great, guys. So that's our top 10 rank. It's been ranked 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
And you know the rest.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Wow, Jack. What a time. You must be feeling pretty exhausted, pretty traumatized, you know, everything you've been through.
Well, I'm tired, Ferg, but I wouldn't say traumatized.
No?
As I was saying before, you know, that was all on film. And so I was behaving in a way that I thought might get me on the film.
You were faking it.
I didn't feel any of that.
Those emotions weren't real.
No, that time in the cave didn't connect us any further. You know, an emotional bond didn't become a physical bond.
No.
We didn't spend kind of days in the cave staring into each other's eyes.
No.
You know, we didn't form a kind of life connection. He didn't lay eggs inside me.
No.
No.
I didn't even...
No, that didn't, no.
No, I didn't realise that was... Was that one of the... Did you pretend to do that? Was that one of the...
No.
No, it's just... You're just clarifying.
I was just clarifying.
Yeah.
But that was our top 10, guys.
So once again, remember to tweet at us, #Catastrophe ranking.
Yeah.
Does your ranking match ours? How does it change? You know, really, you know, we're engaging with you via social media. We're engaging. This is us engaging with you.
I guess we should pick up the pieces of the Sharkman head and build it back together, Ferg.
Yeah, we've got to find those. Oh, actually, I think I can see a big scrap of that. It looks like paper mache over there, over near all that rubble. I'm going to go have a look at that, actually, Jack.
Smog Slug, I miss you so much. You're part of me now. I harbour your seed, and with that seed, one day you shall return.
Jack, what was that?
Nothing.
This has been Just Another Sharkman podcast, starring Jack Bradfield as Jack and Fergus Macdonald as Fergus. Music and editing by Fergus Macdonald. Artwork by Niamh Simpson. Tune in again for more Sharkman news tomorrow. And the day after that. And the day after that. And the day after that.